What's up, everybody? This is Lyle, No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. We're going to keep it 100% real in this video. We're going to be talking about some of my flaws in regards to some of these comments that I've been kind of reading through and kind of go from there. And I'm going to go in order. The flaws might come in about 3 comments down the road, but let's get into some of these comments. We're going to keep it real on some of the comments. Now, I just did a video where I was talking about money and saving money, things like that. And one of the comments that was sent to me was, I know someone that lived on their truck for 2 years so that they were able to save enough money to buy the asset outright. Now, I don't know if they're talking about the truck or the house, but let's talk about a house. I think this person's talking about a house. Listen, I am against trying to save money to pay for a cash house. The reason is this, and it really depends on where you live, and I only know about the places I live, and I'm going to say a lot of the country would fall into this to maybe a lesser degree. Market's hot out in Colorado. You want to invest, come out here. Here's why I say that trying to save up money to buy a house really isn't a good idea. And this is just going to be the one thing that's kind of non-trucker related. In buying a house, saving up that money, you cannot save up money fast enough to outpace the equity or the rising value of home prices. For example, let's say that I had that mindset and I was like, okay, I'm going to save up enough money to buy the house that I'm in now. So at the time I started looking at it, it's around $400,000. And I'm saying, okay, I'm going to save up $400,000 to buy this house. 4 years down the road, this house right now, I wouldn't have had the $400,000 all the way saved up, and now the house isn't 400 and something thousand, it's damn near 600,000. So it's hard to really save up money at the same pace that home values rise. Now there's some areas that make this a little bit easier. That's why I say that if you're gonna need to put something on credit, a home is probably the best way to do it. As a matter of fact, that is one of the areas that I believe in paying cash really is not the best option, but to each their own. All right, so then let's get to another comment, and I want you to check out this guy's channel. I'm going to put a link to his channel in the description below. He goes by the name of Trucker John. He is a truck driver with Prime. And in my previous video, I said, you know what, when I'm out on the road, I don't stop anywhere at the Big Texan or go sightsee, do any of this kind of stuff. And he said there's always time for the Big Texan. Now, I'm not saying that my way is the right way. As a matter of fact, this comes into one of my personality flaws. And I know John is one of the guys that actually does get out of the truck and go sightsee and do all this kind of stuff. Here is my flaw, and it's that I have a hard time turning the switch on and off. You know what I'm saying? So I can't go sightseeing and then come back to the truck and be ready to roll mentally. It's the same problem I had in the mortgage industry. When I was doing mortgages, I never took a lunch unless it was a business lunch, because even that period of time of leaving the office and going out and having lunch, or going out and even bringing it back, just took me out of my flow too much. And I'm saying that that is actually a personality flaw, that's how I roll. So I'm not saying don't go out there and do all that stuff. I personally can't do that. All right, so check out Trucker John. Another one to check out is Peter Trucker. He's another driver at Prime. Talk to him on the phone every now and then. Now, he was replying to a video I did where I was talking about, 30,000 miles, is it enough? If you're not trained in 30,000 miles, stay in your trainer's truck. I stayed on my trainer's truck for a long time. And basically he was saying, in 15,000 miles, you're ready to get off the truck. This is one of those businesses where you have to learn on your own, things like that. And I will almost tend to agree. I think that me staying on my trainer's truck might have been overkill to some degree. Now, did it make it easier? I will probably say that anybody that came off their trainer's truck at 30,000 miles, I probably was outperforming them. But that came at a cost of staying on my trainer's truck for all that time. And one of the things about me that is a flaw, some people could think it's look at it as overthinking. I try to look at it as over preparation. Is I really try to understand what I'm getting into. You know, when I went in the mortgage business, that's another good example. You know, at the time when I got in, you really didn't need to know much to start making money. All you had to do was start writing contracts, and, you know, a manager or somebody else would kind of help you through it. I felt uncomfortable not knowing that much about it, so I learned as much as I could during that first year. Probably made about 25% less than what my peers were making that had just got in the industry around that time. But right after that next year, I was killing them. You know what I'm saying? Because I had the foundation already built. It wasn't, you know, I was a little bit more flexible, knew a little bit more, could talk to real estate agents a little bit better, had different programs and stuff for my clients to understand. A lot of people that didn't do that, you know, struggled a little bit. So I've always been kind of a measure twice, cut once type of a person. Like I said, I'm gonna leave a link to Peter Trucker's channel down in the link below. And then he, you know, he was saying he's a risk taker, and I understand that to some degree. And I'm a risk taker too. You know, I got into real estate way back. You know, as a real estate investor, I was pretty young when I first got into it. So there's certain things I'm willing to jump into and certain things that I want to learn a little bit more. And one thing I'm about, again, it's a flaw, is low stress. I don't like to learn. I don't like to learn shit on the fly. You know what I'm saying? I like low stress environments. That's the reason I came into trucking. I could have still been in the mortgage industry doing all that. Low stress environment is what brought me over into the trucking space. So trucking is so easy that I do think that if you do have a right trainer, you probably can get off your truck at 10, 15,000 miles, definitely 30,000 miles. But I'm still a firm believer in that. At that point, you're kind of just on the bare minimums. And if anybody that got off their trainer's truck at 30,000 miles is saying that they were as good at 30,000 miles as they are at, you know, 200,000 miles, you know, I would maybe question that a little bit. And I don't think that's what he's trying to say. I think he's just trying to say, you know, just kind of grind through it. And I'm just saying, a little bit too much stress for me personally. And like I said, I consider that to be a flaw. I think those are the only comments that I wanted to kind of go through. You know, I had a comment from somebody. Somebody was making a comment, and I just wanted to kind of highlight this. I didn't jump in on this topic, but somebody was asking about emergency funds and stuff like that, and, you know, should you have one, should you not have one? And somebody was saying, well, I'd rather just maintain on my own and invest. Man, you ain't ever gonna have enough money in no emergency fund, do no real investment. But I understand the point that they're trying to make. My point is, I try to separate that money out. You know what I'm saying? I could do that in my own bank accounts. It's just easy to have it right there. My question, and I didn't say this in the comments section of this Facebook post, was when this person was kind of looking down on people that had emergency funds and saying it was just a bad investment to have your money getting controlled by someone else. And I think this person, I think they might have said they've done 3 leases and they've never had an emergency fund with Prime. And I looked at the truck number and it was just a regular lease. Now, I'm just wondering, at some point, by the 3rd lease, and you're talking about investing, maybe that is the point where you do the lease purchase, because there's no way that anybody can tell me that a regular lease is a better investment than a lease purchase. And for anybody that's out there, that I know I've talked some people into the lease purchase, and a lot of people just weren't looking at it the right way. If you happen to be in a regular lease and you know, either you're about to get your lease completion bonus, or you have $14,000 and have been on the edge of doing the lease purchase, or maybe it hasn't even crossed your mind. Man, my email is in the description below. Go down there and send me your phone number, and I can go over all the different ways that you may not be, may even be thinking as the benefits to doing the lease purchase over the lease. And while you're down there, listen, just got off the phone with my recruiter over at Prime. She's not my original recruiter, but she's who's handling anybody that comes into Prime, hopefully comes into Prime, that I've kind of sent over there. Her information is going to be in the link below, as well as my driver code. And part of the reason that I wanted to link up with a specific recruiter was because I wanted there to be some recourse if somebody went through and they didn't feel like they were getting their questions addressed right, or they were getting treated in a way like, you know, first time when I went through, I felt like my recruiter might not have, I don't know, we weren't on the same page. You know, I could maybe be a go-between or something like that, and hold her accountable as well. So if you're thinking about coming to Prime, check out Heather Murrill. The reason I chose her was she was brand new in the industry, and basically was doing it as a way to help her get started in this industry, and it would allow me to pay it forward to people at Prime. You know, I try not to do the, you know, if you use my referral link, then I'll buy you this or do that, because I don't want it to be any one of those quid pro quo type of situations where it's a this for that. I want it to be where it would be something where you would know that that's going to be put to good use and being paid forward. There's plenty of people out there that possibly will do that. I just feel that's ethically not the best way for me to go about it. Anyway, that's all I got to say on that. Hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. Comment, subscribe, and I'm out.